UFC superstar Jon Jones took to social media on Monday afternoon and asked the world's leading MMA promotion to release him from his deal. Jones and the UFC are currently going head-to-head over a potential Francis Ngannou super fight. Jones announced last summer that he would be moving up to heavyweight in 2021, and UFC President Dana White teased that he would be next in line to fight the winner of Ngannou vs. Stipe Miocic at UFC 260, which turned out to be Ngannou. However, after the event was over, White insinuated that Jones was scared of the moving up to heavyweight to fight Ngannou, and instead suggested he move down to middleweight. Jones, in turn, spent the better part of his Sunday tweeting up a storm about a number of issues he has with the UFC, with White, and about his contract, but in the end, he said he expected to see a fight proposal from the company next week. However, it looks like things have taken a turn for the worse as Jones is now asking for the promotion for his release. On Monday, he took to his Twitter to ask the UFC to cut him from his contract and let him go.
I had USMAN on my now was a very good support for me emotionally and mentally and even experience-wise. So he was there all the time to remind me how dangerous I am if I'm like if I calm down, if I collect my emotion and don't go crazy as I did the first time. And at that specific moment that I get punched by Stipe, I thought about that. I'm like, okay, don't go crazy. Don't let your ego take over. Like reset, take time. You have 25 minutes to go. And for some reason, I think Stipe, he thought I was hurt or something. Then I saw him moving like recklessly, so that's when I count.
Stipe Miocic posted his first statement since losing the heavyweight title at UFC 260. He writes on Instagram post, "First and foremost, I'm okay. I know that fall wasn't my most graceful fall, but I was unconscious, so it happens to my family, friends and fans, especially Croatia and Cleveland. I love you and I'm sorry. I hate letting you down. To my team, thank you. I know you feel every loss just as much as I do. We win as a family. We lose as a family. Losses aren't fun, they always sting for a while, but that's the beast of this business. You can't win them all, and it's important to understand that losing is just as much a part of sports and life as winning. Don't ever forget God will always put you where you're meant to be at that exact moment. You can't dwell on what you should have done better, but you can learn and improve from it and come back more prepared next time. Unfortunately, I deviated from game plan. I felt great coming into the second round. I saw it was beginning to go as planned. He was getting very winded, and I came in overzealous and unprotected. I wasn't in a good posture to take the hit. He saw the opening and did what any great fighter would have done. That was my error that I accept. It won't happen again. Lastly, I'd like to congratulate Francis Ngannou and his team on a well-earned victory. Saturday night was your night. Enjoy your victory. For now, I'm going to enjoy the downtime, spend some time with my family, and welcome our son into the world this summer. Stay tuned. God bless. The UFC is moving toward officially booking Dustin Poirier vs. Conor McGregor 3 for later this year. According to multiple sources, the trilogy is close to being finalized for UFC 264 on July 10th. It is not signed yet or fully agreed to, but there is optimism that it could be finalized as soon as this week, sources say. Poirier defeated McGregor in January via second-round TKO in a rematch of their 2014 fight. Back then, at UFC 178, McGregor defeated Poirier via first-round TKO. The trilogy, which is expected to be one of the most lucrative in UFC history, is slated to serve as a 5-round main event at 155 pounds. just like the rematch was. The original fight took place at 145 pounds. McGregor would be looking to secure his first win since January 2020, while Poirier will hope to extend his winning streak to 3 in a row. The location for the event hasn't been announced, though it is expected to be open to fans, sources say. UFC President Dana White said Saturday that the plan is for UFC 264 to be at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, and when asked if Poirier vs. McGregor would be the main event, he said, "I hope so. We all hope so."
I've said this, Ariel, and I tweeted it after the fight, and people were saying, what does this mean? When I say this changes everything in terms of the UFC champion. Let me explain. The heavyweight champion, especially the general public, right? They want to see a guy that does not resemble them in any shape, way, shape, or form, right? They want to see a guy that almost looks outer worldly, a guy that you don't see just walking up the street. When I was the heavyweight champ, there's millions of me just walking around the street. When Stipe was the champ, there's a lot of guys that are 6'3", 6'4", 225, 230 pounds. Even though we're scary, we don't look as though we don't exist in this world. Francis does. You don't see many 6'4.5", 280-pound men that look physically like Francis Ngannou. That is what people want to see when they think of the baddest man on the planet, because there aren't many of them. And I think this is the first time the UFC has had a guy that strikes that type of intrigue around the world since Brock, right? Because there's not many Brocks out here. That's why no matter what Brock does, WWE keeps putting the belt on him. Because they look at Brock and you go, that's the heavyweight champion of the world. You get that with Francis, a big guy that seems like he doesn't belong of this world. And with his fighting ability combined with the physical looking attributes, he could be as big as any heavyweight champ the UFC's ever had.